Hello, everyone, and welcome here to the qualification match. Oh, the camera is not at all set up properly.
Are you shifting it, or am I moving over?
We can do both. We can do both.
Okay.
Oh, production.
Yeah.
Good enough. Good
Got
enough.
'em.
Good enough. We move things around. I have to move things around every time I do my normal stream. And this. Hello, everyone. My name is Solid Jake.
And I'm the Kubi.
Yes, yes. And
Yes.
qualification match.
The final of this broken up three-part qualifier number 3 for the North American Los Angeles Spring Championship qualifier.
This is it. Like, this is your last chance to qualify.
No.
Teams have this is your last chance as for a lot of these teams because a lot of teams will be dropped out after this. I misunderstood the fourth week, Kubi. I actually said it wrong on stream. The fourth week will actually be the 8 teams that haven't qualified yet.
Oh, how
Put
did you say it?
into a double elimination bracket.
What did you say? Single?
I
lid?
thought it was all point related. I wasn't
Oh,
sure.
I thought I heard you say that,
yeah,
and I was I didn't hear the
I
first
completely
part.
misunderstood it when
No,
I.
no,
when
yeah.
when
I knew it was
initially read
another bracket
Yeah.
that it was invitation. I did not know it was double elim though. Which is
I believe
interesting.
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I might be making that up though. I'm awful when it comes to rules. I used to be an admin like
This
a
guy gets
decade
it.
ago, and
This guy gets it.
I just disrespect admins. I mean, no, I don't disrespect them. I rely on them. I make them carry me. Kubi's slain. I love all you admins.
Can someone just like clip that? Just that's a perfectly clippable thing. I disrespect all admins. Blanket statements.
No,
Always get them out there.
Man, I rely on the admins. Is what I was trying to say because they
Yeah,
always got my
that might
back.
be-
They always got my back.
That might be what you were going for.
I just worded it in probably the worst way possible.
yeah. It's up there. So we have 4 teams left in this bracket on either side of the opposite sides of the bracket. Only 2 of these teams will advance. There will be no finals tonight, so it is just this set that we are casting.
Yep.
I believe the other set is casted simultaneously over at twitch.tv/GillyWadeSC2.
Correct.
We have Panda Global up against Team Nom, as you guys can see. So Team Nom actually got a little bit of an upset yesterday over Resurgence, which I think was maybe the number 4 or 3 seed moving into this event. So the fact that they've gotten this far is certainly a testament to their skill as a team. Let's see what they can show us today. We got to watch a lot of Panda Global over the past 2 days. We've sort of been following this team through the bracket. And then just really quickly over on the other side, it's, I believe, Blaze up against Kings of Blade. King of Blades Alpha.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, they're duking it out. They're having a jolly good time trying to earn themselves this spot here. Double support band open up this draft to Rhonda and Rhaegar. And then we're seeing Stitches with the opposing side picking up Jaina and Zagara.
Yeah, Panda Global has really just shown a propensity for taking very early warrior picks. B-Kid is a
it's worked.
strong player on their team. I don't blame them. And he has been performing very well all throughout this qualifier. So it's a good call. Team Nom battles back with Jaina, recently buffed. And Zagara has just been very consistently strong. Infernal Shrines, no different. So I like the picks. Panda Global, are they going to try to scoop up some things that pair well with Stitches? We've seen them grab Thrall, Karazim if the draft calls for it. They will take... What was the other one? Falstad is just a very, very good pick regardless. Thrall?
I think Thrall. I
Karazim,
can't
and
imagine.
they were taking Lunaru with this as well. I don't know if they'll take it this early in the draft. Who's the one hero that we're missing that's an obvious pick?
Well, AoE is really valuable. Stitch is super good in this map in general just because last bite, but
Yeah.
I don't think they would pick Kael'thas this early. They are going to be concerned about AoE presence for sure.
Yeah.
Thrall doesn't offer that so much, but Thrall's so good in lane.
It may be a Thrall pick here.
Yeah.
Thrall pick, and then they will probably ban out either Uther or ETC on their rotation.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Well, they did this yesterday where they like to show multiple support picks and then pick Thrall and force the other
Yeah,
team to ban out one of those 2 supports that they
They're
showed.
one of the few. Blaze does this too. There's a few teams that ever since they added this hover
actually
feature.
went through
Oh,
it.
man.
Okay,
The
so
reverse meta.
this kind of actually saves them a ban if they want to do this strategy. Maybe they did some research onto Team Nom to see what supports they were relying on a lot. Saw that Uther was a clutch pick. Maybe they were doing the Uther ETC strategy a lot. And instead of throwing a ban that way, they can just get rid of Uther or can pick up Uther and not have to ban him. Looks like they're looking for a
Huh.
Zeratul ban.
Yeah, so Tassadar ban is really just, I mean, he's great in lane. He's a safe hero versus Zagara if you have to. It's just the vision with Oracle with Hook. Smart denial, but Zeratul. I mean, I guess Maw VP is a powerful level of control if you have both of them. That's interesting. I wonder if that's targeted towards Nam.
Could be. If I had to guess, it probably is. It seems like an odd ban.
Yeah.
It may also be trying to set up for picks later as well. Maybe they want to try to pick up some heroes that are a little less than good against Zeratul. That might be Lunara is jumping out. Who else? Sylvanas can be risky. I don't really see them going for Sylvanas here. So Johanna Malf would just be really strictly wave clear. Helps with the objective.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm hovering Mouth. Mouth's just... I actually like the Mouth pick a lot with this composition. You've got Maw to buy time for all those heals with Tranquility. The control, just Moonburn. But Panda Global... Oh,
yes, they have been running double Warrior too as well.
Yeah, I would...
If you guys didn't check in the early
especially with
games.
Stitches.
Yeah. Very well could be... Diablo Thrall feels a little bit much.
To do both?
Yeah.
I think
just,
one or the
it's
other.
just too much melee.
I think one or the other is fine.
Yeah.
But...
There's the Lunara. Working its way into the rotation here. 15 seconds left to make these final pick, or at least this first one. Diablo,
All right,
Diablo
Lunara.
Lunara or Thrall?
I like Thrall so much more. They need someone good in lane. Falstad's not ideal.
This is who? Psalm will be playing this year, I think? Yeah.
I believe so. Dibbles is so good on the shrines itself, so I'm okay with this.
This worked out well for them yesterday.
Yeah.
They ran a very similar composition. I think perhaps the support was different, but... Team Nom, melee, extra warrior. They could take Thrall themselves. They're going to go for Leoric. This is a very classic. If you looked back, 6 months ago?
At this composition with Mouth.
But just the Johanna, like when this Battleground first came out, Leo and Johanna were godlike because they had much more wave clear on their abilities, right? And
True.
if you could get both of them on a team on this Battleground, it was just like, all right, that's done.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I like the Johanna Leoric returning to its former glory in this matchup.
We'll see how it works.
A lot of control and just like safe poke on the side of Team Nom. Like it doesn't feel like they have a very we're going to blow you up style, but it's going to be really good for the shrines. Both the teams really just drafting for this map, which is obviously a smart thing to do.
Yeah, and Tomb is also quite good, but you're really relying on Jaina being close enough to capitalize on it. But a lot of the heroes will have a difficult time getting out of that.
Alrighty, well,
that
the first game in this best-of-3 series, this qualification match, Kubi is loving the Master Lunara. Is that the one you like, or Stitches?
Yeah.
Lunara.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
I just bought that skin. I just got it at 10 last
Crispy.
week. It's crispy.
They gotta counteract the Jaina on the other side. You gotta get that Ice Lunara.
Oh. What Jaina was it? Do you know?
No, because I don't think we can see.
It's true. There's no way. There's no way to know.
All right, this is a qualification match. Winner of this set will advance to the Los Angeles Spring Championship qualifier for NA. A big deal.
It's a trip to
It's a
LA.
big deal.
It's
Yes, it is.
it's a chance at a $100,000 prize pool, and it's a status that you're top 8 in North America. On the left side, we have Team Nom. Kashi going to be playing as Leoric, the Samus skin. Dayan going to be on Malfurion. Wrath playing Zagara. Zugrug on Johanna. And Deadly Ice playing Jaina. Oh.
That's right. Over on the right side, you guys know him. You love him. Been checking him out all throughout this qualifier. It is Panda Global, B-Kid rocking the Stitches. Michael Udall will be playing Falstad. Psalm on Diablo, big impact on Lunara. And Akaface, their tried and true support on the Uther.
Alrighty, my friends. The talents, nothing out of the ordinary. Night Take Spawn, Moonburn, just for that
Stitch is going for a damage build.
Ah, yeah, slam. Double warrior. It's not that uncommon to have that. Devils do is the choice
Yep.
here for Devils.
I think it's the first time we've seen BK go for a damage build on Stitches.
Yeah, it's possible.
We've seen it throughout the qualifier, but it was, I believe, when the other team had Stitches. And he has mostly been going for the hungry for more, amplified healing style build. So interesting. A little change.
Michael Uldal slowly making his way up into the creep realm of Wrath. Opting it's a little bit too risky, but he gets two. Look at that style!
Got him.
Wow!
I'm thinking about anti-auto attack stuff in general for Team Nom. Double imposing presence, possibly at 16. Jaina could go for frost armor at level 7, because that's where a big majority of their damage is going to be coming from, is Lunar already setting up for those auto attack builds with their level 1 talents. So,
No, true.
just something perhaps Team Nom to keep in mind how they want to try to deal with that.
Kubi, who has bluer eyes, Uther or Jaina? Or are they the same?
I think they are exactly the same. Falstad might also be fitting into that category. I don't know, hard to see. Hard to see.
Lord Devils, the first one to go down in this game. Doesn't mean too much. They're not going to lose any XP as a result of it. And he's already back alive, ready to go here for the first shrine.
So this is where Team Nom was really basing a lot of their draft, was around being able to take these objectives, take them very cleanly, have an advantage. I'd like to see them really set up a strong positional advantage just based on their composition. Not really a lot of initiate to it, but having the ground that you need to defend already covered and force the enemy team to move in, I think that's a better call.
That makes a lot of sense. Slam build continuing here. We do see everything else pretty much what you would expect. Standard talent across the board. Both teams, yep.
Moon's Grace again.
Yeah, it's
Just picking up some popularity.
yeah, definitely. It was in and out of the meta at one point. Definitely did kind of fall off. But a lot of the skeletons being picked up here from both sides. 10-9, very even split. Leo just backing away with that Wraith Walk. But Diablo gets the flip on Zugrug, and this could be an early pickup, but the Roots buying time, and the heals come out from Malfurion. Drain Hope, not going to be enough for Kashi, but Blizzard crashing down on Beacon. Saw him so low in the back.
It's a good value. I like the positional advantage that they had started with. I'm not even really so sure I fully agree with them backing up with this. All right, it's going to take some wells while they wait for Leorc to come back up. Giving up the skeletal defender advantage that they did have, maybe not even entirely. This may end up working out in their favor, the fact that Leoric moved in, soaked up so much damage, and then backed out.
Beautiful stun on Mouth. Dan barely staying alive, and the Blizzard Condemn combo is going to get 2 and 3, maybe 4 heroes. Beautiful execution by Team Nom.
That hurt. That hurt a lot. Only ends up being about a half-level advantage at this point, but the fact that they now have to rush down to bottom lane, they may be able to get a little bit more than just the towers, which is what you normally see.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is huge. The thing is, they're only pushing, they're getting soak in 2 lanes ahead. They're going to get so much extra XP. This is massive advantage for Team Nom.
Yeah. This should move them in the range of a little bit more than a level up, as long as they don't lose any heroes in this defense. Or offense, I should say.
All right, well, level 7 picked up by them already. Double battle momentum. We do see we have the Ghastly reach here for Skeletal Swing.
More AoE. Again, it helps with that wave clear.
Yeah, true.
During growth seems to be pretty common.
Yeah, you almost never see cleanse on Malf.
It's just you're not going to draft Malf.
Exactly.
You'll just, if you're really concerned about it, you're either, you're taking Uther, who's kind of got the cleanse in the form of his heroic. Medic can take cleanse herself, but also has the heals. So it's like if you're waiting that long in the draft to pick up your support that needs cleanse, you've got other options. And Malf's got the better wave clear, sure, but it's not that critical. So you'll go for the extra heal almost every time.
Okay, we're talking about that full level lead, Talontier advantage, and Salm is backing up. They're just conceding the Cosmic Camp. Zugrug happy to scoop up that merry present he just got.
Speaking of cleanse, we do have it on Uther. Again, continuing to go for that full damage build. Level 4, that is Slam now applies trait, and the trait at level 7 is upgraded, does extra damage over time, and is also bigger AoE. So not going for the classic Devour upgrade, last bite, reduce the cooldown. Really just specking into that damage.
Okay, well I like what we're seeing everything here. Like the Khazra camps that are just pretty much kept Panda Global cleaning up for a little while here. Still pushing on in into the bottom lane, so they're forced to rotate. This is a time where we're going to see bruiser camps pick up from both teams, so that'll even out in the top lane for sure, right about the time the next shrine spawns.
So what's cool about the strategy, or at least how Panda Global is reacting to this situation? We saw a very similar scenario yesterday where Panda Global was actually up against, I believe it was Kings of Blade, Epsilon, and they ended up just like stopping the game because of how the defense was actually at Sky Temple. But they're being very patient with this fact that they're down over, a little bit more than a level. Just about that, right? And it's the right play to do. They're going to be behind. Wait for the heroics. Wait for those big plays that you can try to make. But don't do anything too risky, because we saw how that game can collapse so quickly.
And, well, they're being pretty careful. I like the call, the so-called 3 lanes. Heroics just about here for Team Nam. They're sitting way up in terms of the skeleton
count. Actually, doing a counter push bottom lane.
Yeah, it's not huge, though.
Get towers. Again, it's just about getting to that level 10 as quickly as you can. Those towers do help. They add up. Smart time to back up. Won't be enough poison damage to take out that tower, so we may see them poke in a little bit. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, he wants it. He wants it. 7 more skeletons needed, but heroics have been achieved here by Panda Global. Note, we do have March instead of Entomb in this game. Stylistic option. We'll see how it pays off.
Again, they need the damage. Like I was saying, if you get Entombs, that's great, but if you don't have the DPS to follow that up, or if it's too risky to even get Jaina into that situation, maybe completely useless. They do have a lot of setup for March of the Black King, though, between Maw, Ring of Frost, and Blessed
Could be
Shield.
devastating if they
could get some pretty big marches, so we'll see how that pans out.
It's funny how the second Punisher did so much less than the first. Usually the first one does almost nothing, but it's because of that team fight that Team Nam had taken so convincingly right as they finished off the shrine in the first fight.
Quick rotations between the teams. This is like a dead zone for levels, I guess, right here. It's like right after all the objectives have been taken. Just now we're seeing those 2 mercenary camps pop up, but the name of the game is always just going to be soaked safely. Unless one team has a big advantage over the other, not really the case. So you see sort of this quiet calm before the storm.
All right, well, you talked about those 2 camps that are up. They're now being collected by either team respectively.
And they're respecting each other.
Oh, man.
That's what it is. They're saying, okay, you guys have already shown us that you are capable of taking some pretty clean team fights. We're down just a little bit. We're not going to try to overextend in any way. We'll both take our cancel back up, and we'll meet at the next jump.
Akaface actually spent cleanse in that situation, so that is on cooldown. Dan popping Tranquility early. The pause has been called, and there we go into a pause. Psalm disconnecting right at the start of this fight. Some unfortunate timing. I'm actually rather intrigued by the cleanse to get Stitches through the roots. That was...
He's got to get in there, man.
Yeah, he's like, just
big dude.
Go, my oaf. Go forth.
You don't want to trip on those roots.
No, that would hurt. If he fell,
that's lights out.
He'd break the game.
KO.
KO! Could be so excited for Street Fighter 5.
Yes. You have no idea.
When's it, Tuesday?
Yes, Tuesday. Palm disconnect.
Psalm.
What, Palm. All right, let's. So we'll wait that out. See what's going on. I'm actually not sure what the ruling is in terms of how long they have.
If we get to like a 5-minute marker, I will contact an admin.
We'll figure it out.
Actually, the admins are probably watching, so they'll probably message
Perhaps
me
they
in
are.
2 minutes. Like, the rule is...
Is he back in? Trying to keep you guys updated. Looks like both teams are ready to go. We think.
There's a lot of R's in an okay.
So far, though, a very, very even game. Very, very, almost in every respect, other than the fact that the 2 early Punishers. Oh, boy.
3, 2, 1, wait.
3, 2, 1, wait. Okay. Are you serious?
It was like the moment, it was like 3, 2, 1. It was like, wait. And then comms went down. Okay.
Oh, one of us just. All right, they're good now? We're trying to give you the play-by-play in the chat. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
And we're in there. Psalm
Okay.
has rejoined the game. The Christmas jingle bells coming out from the sludge of Stitch's bum. And here we go into the bottom Cosmer camp. the one objective available on the map. We do see the Khazra in mid being cleaned up here by Psalm. So that's going to be a nice bit of damage they can do just briefly. Even just if you let the Cosmos siege up a bit, that's some nice damage, especially if you do end up winning an Immortal in that middle lane. But not where the Punisher is going to be this time around.
Interesting thing is that I would very heavily say that Panda Global's composition scales much better the later the game goes.
Yeah, you're right. That's a
Falstad and Lunara especially, they get so much more utility, mobility out of their kit as it moves on.
They're like level 20 with like Souls and Diablo and Redemption. I mean, that's scary.
Yeah, and I think that, yeah, I'm thinking like, where's this break point? Because you see the Panda Globals, they're being very patient about everything, and they're obviously waiting for some break point with their composition. And I think it's strictly let's not force anything. Let's drag it out as evenly as possible throughout the game.
Okay, well, we see Zugrar taking a ton of damage. The blind going out, the maul whiffing, but it does force Michael Ludo on Big Impact to lose some autos for a short while. March of the Black King, keeping Kashi alive, doing a bit of damage, but not quite enough. The Gust for the disengage forces Kashi down. The hook in on Zugrug, and that will be a successful blow up. Oh no, the heals from Mouth just barely enough. Big Impact can't finish him off, and Falstad has been picked off. Now this is suddenly a 1-for-1.
Big mistake, actually, for the very first Punisher push. They didn't take out the well, which has allowed Psalm to really get back into this fight, and this could really cost them.
Yeah, Tranquility came off cooldown. Ice Block used. That level 13 talent for Deadly as keeping him up, and Psalm goes down.
Kachi's back in. Power of Leoric, that trait gets him back into the fight so much faster. BK should be able to get out, but they will be.
This is it. This is a win.
Yeah.
Wow.
It would have been absolutely crazy if Panda Global turned that fight around simply because they let the well stay up. That would have been so interesting. Because it's always like, I mean, like, you guys were there, you know? Yeah. You were dealing damage to this with the Punisher. You had the wall open. You had the opportunity to take it down. Usually it's like, not a big deal. Sometimes it is.
Okay, Lord Dibble's able to live on today. Arcane Punishers are quite scary. Those tethers do add up, even after the nerf in the last patch. And they're just going to take the experience from the fortifications, call it a day, and back away.
That said, all things considered, having lost all 3 Punishers and they are down 4 takedowns, they're only about a half level behind.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
This might start compounding a little bit more, especially with the lost ground in bottom lane. Zagara already soaking top. Falstad may actually just get up here in time to catch the experience for this wave.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And it could be a lot worse for Panda Global. And it's a good case of solid damage control for the team.
Like you said, their composition is so late game centric. I mean, Giant Killer alone, we saw the difference that made versus Leoric and Johanna. They were the first 2 to get burned in that fight, and that's a big part of it.
Absolutely.
Well, some pretty standard stuff positioning across the battleground right now. The Mercenary Camp starting to pop back up and get collected pretty much as soon as they are available because both teams are avoiding those fights. Level 16 should be picked up first here by Team Nam. We'll see if they are going to try to find a timing. You see Zugrar going back. That means they're trying to get mana. They're probably going to look to make a play when they're at max power.
This should time out all right for Panda Global. I think both teams will definitely be 16 by the time the next... Oh, I like this play.
Yeah.
No, this is good. This is good because it's... All right, you're not going to be able to get an advantage over the next shrine. What can you do with this level advantage that you might have? Really good heads-up play from Michael Ludall to check that bush, to not go in there and really just face check it, and he would most certainly die. The mark of an experienced player.
Yeah, such a close window. 16 was picked up pretty much a second after. They opt to leave the Wisp alive. They pinged it saying, guys, open your eyes.
Only one imposing presence grabbed.
Yeah, okay.
Is that the attack? That is the attack speed increase, isn't it? For Lunara, sorry, at level 16.
Yeah, that's not Starwood. That's Invigorating Spores. That is definitely an uncommon pickup.
Well, you have double frontline. If you can keep control.
Yeah, that's cool.
You have Giant Killer, you have the crits, and I mean, like, that can get scary real fast. She just has to get into the right position. What is super threatening, out of nowhere for Team Nam?
Nothing.
Nothing really. They do have a decent amount of control, but nothing that's shouldn't be able to be avoided through good positioning.
Okay, well, Panda Global going to be a little bit late to the shrine, so 12 picked up pretty much right out of the gates here by Team Nam. But Psalm looking to change that hook on into Malfurion. He has to pop Ice Block, and the Maw buying some space here with Diablo up there. The Roots and Divine Shield both things, but Ring of Frost crushing Uther very early. The hook in, but Apocalypse to blow up Leoric, and Kashi is down. Ends up being a 1-for-1 trade.
Thought maybe the Uther Ghost would have allowed Panda Global to try to turn back in, especially with the quick burst of heal. Having used that Divine Shield really early in the fight to no avail. Personally, I would have told you that Panda Global picking a fight was the smart and the right call for them based on what talents they've picked and how the composition works. But Team Nom is outplaying at this point and bought themselves a great opportunity to pick up their 4th Punisher.
Like, I'm so impressed that they landed a hook on Mouth. And they had a fight so well in their position, and it was turned around. Yeah, so good. Ice Block, Trank, and Maw, just the disengage they need. Kashi gets out of there. Tapping the well, and he's just at full health. Look at that with Mouth in the well. It's
that Maw that happened in the last fight too is also a great testament to you don't need to always land the biggest Maw.
True.
They just got Diablo, but it was enough to turn the pacing of the fight. It was more about the timing than it was how many heroes you catch.
Yeah. All right. Well, I like this call to split up. They know their Punisher is going to do a bit of damage top, but they're just making sure they can get a safe and free fort here in the middle lane. Because it's all about getting to level 20 first.
Once again, they have themselves a 4 takedown advantage. They have a structural advantage. They've taken 4 Punishers, but yet they only find themselves very slightly up in experience. It's just, again, Panda Global doing a great job. Or perhaps you could just say the Team Nom is not capitalizing enough off of these objectives.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a huge part of it. I mean, combination of underdog kills that they're getting and the lack of maximizing their potential to really just propel forward.
Falstad takes Epic Mount, you think?
I like it on this map. Too much to pass it up, I think, yeah. It's that or he might go... No, I think he'll go Epic Mount almost no matter what. It's just so good for setups.
Okay,
and Michael
we'll have the redemption.
Likes those kind of plays.
Okay. Perhaps one play that they could have changed, Michael Udall, as soon as you see the hook onto Mouth and the ice block goes down, Gust. Now, I don't recall if he gusted immediately. I don't think he did, though. And, Mouth's going to stay in place. The rest of the team is going to get pinned against the wall, and they're slowed.
Look at this. Panda Global taking the experience lead. They might have lost 2 of their forts, but they're standing strong. But Diablo gets that big heal from the well, trying to push back on in. Leoric has to back away. Psalm needs to be very careful.
Look at Zugzug get melted. Big impacts going in, getting the damage numbers in. They don't have 20 yet. No indestructible.
Okay,
there's the Gust.
Nice Gust to disengage. They're buying space here for the team to get back on. Diablo flipping in, finds the Malfurion, and Dan going to pop that Ice Block to Ring of Frost, doing so much damage, picking up the kill on Stitches, but they trade out Leoric 1-for-1. Kashi will respond very quickly, and
that should be the disengage. I don't think they'll be able to pick up any additional takedowns. The Ice Block usage thus far has been very good.
Yes.
Impressive. It's always been at the right time. It was able to dodge that APOC. So important. Allowed him to get out positionally. And like you said, that Ring of Frost is quite good. Otherwise, though, the positioning, like if they're able to clean up the engages just a little bit more for Panda Global, I'm worried about Team Nom because they're able to melt through that front line so quickly.
I'm a little upset we're not seeing better soak of that wave. I mean, okay, they're going to get the minions bottom. They need level 20. They need it pretty much as soon as humanly possible. Stitches, there it is. Level 20 is picked up. Stitches just responding in 10 seconds. Leoric already back up. That's why you see them conceding this point of the shrine.
Life Leech, or its appropriate name for Diablo at level 20. Oh, Lord of Terror. It's basically an AoE.
It's blood for blood.
Yeah, it can really turn a fight around.
Yeah, it really can. It's really powerful burst sustain.
Spectral Leech picked up for Leoric. That's smart. Every auto attack doing 5%, I think, of the total health. And with 2 warriors on the other side, it does, steal that health.
Provide a lot of big targets for him. Okay, well, Indestructible versus the Undying of Diablo and the Redemption of Uther. But they also have Leo, so this is kind of cool. All the warriors have a lot of just stay-in potential.
5th Punisher in a row?
I think so.
5th or maybe even 6th. I've lost count at this point. They've gotten every single one, but that's how they drafted it, and it worked out so well for them.
Diablo taking so much damage, backing away. Uther throwing out that shield. Shadow charge forward to buy some space, but they have to disengage, and they're gonna lose this keep at this point. V-Kid needs a miraculous hook, but nobody can follow up if he even lands
Wells,
it.
though.
Yeah, that's a big gust. The hook in
It
to force Dan into the shrink ray. Might not even have to pop Ice Block here. He gets that tranquility, popping Storm Shield as well, and that is more than enough. Maintaining his Ice Block cooldown. Yes, he does still have it.
V-Kid, does he have hook off cooldown? He's got to pick and choose the right target, at least hitting something. Kachi may go down in this, but again, it's Leoric. Best of targets for that team to have go down at this point for Team Nom. They get the keep.
Yeah, they get the keep.
Back up, taking minimal losses.
This
Now
is a
what?
window, though. This is a window. Mercs in top and mid, and they have a hero advantage for 30-ish seconds, we say, because Leoric can, of course, reduce that death damage.
Oh, no.
Flying in. Michael Udall gets back to safety. The Hammer of Justice onto Dan. He still has Ice Block. And the Maw on 3 targets here. Big impact, not really at risk. They're backing away. Apocalypse used very early. Michael Udall flanking back to the left. They spent
a lot.
Okay.
The Maw was excellent. They just basically saw red as soon as that gust went down. We got to make use of this. It was a great play, but I think just the minions were not quite in position, so they weren't soaking all of the slows. Diablo having a hard time getting in there, and that hurts when you have a great gust like that. And he covered himself with a good escape route, but having spent Apocalypse is what really hurts.
Yeah, that's rough. 60 seconds on Apoc and Maw. And 2 forts did go down, so that's nice. They actually have 2 lanes where they've done some damage, so that if they do actually win one of these shrines, they can actually get something done. And it is going to be a middle lane Punisher, so if they manage to win this, that push might have ended up being worth it.
This is interesting. I'm almost in favor of leave Stitches really far forward and try to bait the enemy team into a position where Stitches can really cover into the back line. He's got the Divine Shield to get himself out, but if they can provide themselves a good amount of control over the fight at the start, that may just be what's needed to really turn these around.
Big impact, throwing down a new Wisp. We see the Mutalist flying in, and already the Skulls starting out in favor of Panda Global, but they have not won a Punisher yet in this game.
They got to win a fight in order to take these. They can't just do the poke war. They'll lose that every time.
Just look at Moonburn just picking up them in chunks, 4 at a time sometimes. Skeletal swing.
This is, no, he's going to turn around and march. Okay, good dodge.
Yeah, they baited it. That was beautifully done. This is exactly what Panda Global had to do. They bait out the march, they turn around, and now they have control.
That's almost one of those meta situations. So they saw Kachi backing up, and they know that he's got the march right. So as soon as they see him turn around, everybody scatters. It would have been so cool if Kachi turned around, feinted the start of March, basically, and then turned around again. If he could get them to scatter, and it saved him, that would be some A+ work. I don't know if it's possible based on the amount of poke they had, but it'd be really cool.
Yeah. Okay, just getting in an idea of what's happening on the map. We do have the Punisher here in mid, Fallen Shaman Camp in top, and Catapults are pushing out here. Already 3 stacked up in the bottom lane. So they need to make something happen here with this push. If they stay too long, those Catapults will make their way to the core.
25 seconds of March. We did have Blessed Shield used very recently. No avail. Zugrug taking a lot of damage. Oh, the Indestructible's popped.
Oh, Apocalypse actually connecting. He gets the flip and the Shadow Charge back, but Zugrug is basically at full health. Maw just connecting there on Zugrug, and Tranquility healing up everyone to full health. Diablo popping his self-heal, Lord of Terror, but is it enough? We do see they force Leoric back as well. Keep will go down.
Keep.
It's a victory.
That's why we saw Michael Liddell throwing out that gust. They just wanted to back up at this point. They're very happy with this. Considering where their structures were 2 minutes ago, they hadn't taken anything yet, and now they find themselves pushing down mid lane to take the fort initially, where we saw that sort of botched gust. They take a shrine, move back through mid, take that keep. They've opened themselves up a victory condition despite having been behind almost the entire game structure and objective-wise.
Yeah.
It's smart. All they need to do is take another fight like what they had over the shrine, and they can win the game.
Okay. Well,
Playing from behind, boys. You gotta make the most of it. whether it's risky or, you know, however you want to try to strategize it, but you got to have something planned.
Let's see what the plan is here. Everyone's alive. Heroics, all that's on cooldown. Well, we have 3 in total. Devouring Maw, Tranquility, and Apocalypse. 20 seconds on just about each and every one of those. Michael Udall just being very passive here in the top lane, knows that this is a point of contention, and he's hanging out in this area.
Yeah, we see Panda Global putting the higher amount of heroes in the bottom lane. That's just because they have the catapult, so they want to try to shove that out as safely as possible. And really, at this point, it just kind of looks like Team Nom not really too sure of what they want to be doing at this point, hoping they can kind of catch a party bush here and there. Nothing really panning out.
A safe pickup here of the Fallen Shaman camp. Looking at the stats, just seeing how everyone is doing in this game. Leo, calm down, my friend.
Spectral Leech, dude.
It's so strong.
Spectral Leech, and you get, you know, situations where every single time your Drain Hope is off cooldown, you're throwing it onto one of those huge HP tanks. Yeah, your damage numbers will add up.
And Lunara, if you were questioning her rise in the meta recently, she does wonders. Okay, they waited. They timed out this Fallen Shaman camp for this top shrine.
Fly soon.
Yeah, they're going to have a bit of additional presence here in this lane.
He does have to come out, but if they want to try to make a play with it during the fight, he's got to fly soon.
He's even taking a lot of damage from that wave of minions. That's going to be
That's gonna hurt.
a bit of a factor for sure. The Shadow Charge and the Hammer of Justice follow up a huge stun there, and they just barely don't get the kill. The Mars turnaround, but Kashi goes down. A nice play here from Panda Global. The Gust into the corner. Can they capitalize? We see Dan popping that Tranquility to keep alive. He still has Ice Block available, and they just force them back.
That's amazing that they're able to bait out Tranquility there. That's such a big win. Almost even more of a win than it is taking out Kachi. Which gave them the positional advantage, but Tranquility's got a long cooldown, boys.
Yeah, we're talking another 80 seconds and 15 seconds for the Gust that allowed that to be used.
We'll pay attention to that cooldown, but if that ends up making or breaking their defense for this top heat, that's a big deal.
Okay.
Hit with the Bile.
Putrid Bile going down. Divine Shield has been used. The Pulverize, the Slam there going in. We do see Kashi falls. Once again, Apocalypse is going to get some massive value. And the Gust from behind. Michael Udall with the big plays. The Maw is good on 2 targets, but it might be too little too late. Ring of Frost connecting on nothing. Wrath gets chunked down, but bolting at the last moment. Shadow Charge secures the kill, and it's only Johanna alive. She will go down in a big fight for Panda Global.
That's game.
Yeah, probably.
Sucks. I mean, Kachi will be back up. It just won't matter. So, a couple things to talk about. Really amazing APOC combo. It was a very good job. I mean, we were able to beat out one of the ice blocks. Still, though, getting some value, stunning out the 2 targets. I'll tell you, there's one thing that really would have been nice to have during that fight, Jake.
Tranquility!
Yeah, that hurt. So it ended up being a huge, huge play that they're able to bait that out early. It cost them the game.
GG.
Not saying that it was Malfurion's fault for having used it there. I can understand it. It was a threatening position, but man, that hurts. That really hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, GG.
Stinger.
Panda Global taking game 1, having been levels. Again, they were close. Even Panda Global taking the lead towards the end of it, but structure-wise and objective-wise, they were losing horribly, which was really the main point of the draft for Team Nom. So that's what they were shooting for. It worked out pretty well for them for the most part, even taking that keep fairly early.
Yeah. It was
Panda Global, they stayed patient. That's really the thing I got to drive home here. Panda Global was super patient, and they figured out all these little sort of quirks here and there, how they can take advantage of the enemy team's position, and they made it work.
But big props to Team Nom. They played very well.
They
They looked very strong. It was definitely an even match for sure. 27-minute game. That tells the story right there. These teams were deadlock even when it came to their power as a team. And I believe in them for game 2. I think they can bring it back.
We'll have
after
to find
play
out.
like that.
Ooh, we'll have to find out.
Well, on that note, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, set up the second game in this best-of-3 series. Remember, the team that wins this match advances to the North America Spring Championship Regionals in LA just a few weeks from now. So stay tuned and tell your friends. We'll be back soon. Alrighty, everyone, welcome back here to the qualification match between Panda Global and Team Nom with Kubi and Jake.
Game 2.
Game 2.
Panda Global up 1-0. Moving into it. Very, very patient game if you guys just tuning in.
Yeah.
On Infernal Shrines. Close game. Very, very exciting. Some cool strategies moving into it, but we are moving with a passion, it would seem. These guys had the lobby up almost immediately after Michael Udall with that lobby APM way too high.
He is so ridiculously esports.
Crispy. More APM than Diva?
Probably.
Wow.
She's only the GSL Codex champion of like 2092.
Isn't her APM is like over 3,000 something? So that's
probably.
incredible.
I can't wait to learn more about Overwatch lore. Like, I'm a Blizzard nerd in every way, dude. I've read StarCraft books. Well, I've started them. I never.
I just want
finished
Overwatch Heroes.
it. Yeah. Oh, Kubi. Don't
That's
get me
what I
too
want.
excited.
Imagine Diva in this game. Actually,
You know, yeah, she's like she's my wish list, but I think of something that would be really interesting for the meta is Winston in Heroes. The
yeah,
bubble,
he's so iconic.
the bubble and
yeah.
like the control on shrines. If you can negate damage from coming in, like imagine a Pyroblast coming in and Winston throwing down his bubble and absorbing it. That sounds so hype. That sounds so hype.
I'm very curious to see how they're going to deal with the lack of 2 heroics and just the overall amount of abilities.
Well, there's a lot of lore behind the characters that don't necessarily exist within their toolkits in the game.
True.
Like Tracer's a pilot, and she has a ship called Slipstream. So maybe her other heroic is something
that.
to do with Slipstream, right? Like,
Yeah, that's true. It could be.
who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of cool things that could be done. I've been reading up a lot in Overwatch lore because I'm absolutely enthralled with that game.
But are you enthralled with Thrall?
Yeah. He's a great hero. Thanks for the donation, man. Kubi just saw the donation animation. Udall's hair OP. It's not on the
Is that
stream.
Aquabats?
It's on the stream. Yeah, it's Aquabats. he's loading a donut into a cannon.
That's fantastic. I wish you guys could see it.
They can see it on my normal stream.
Okay.
But I've given them
What
the okay.
is going on?
They asked if we're ready, and I told them yes.
Did you tell them yes?
Yeah. Wow.
Well then. All right. So what do you want to see changed? It's hard to say what they should change. It's just kind of like, oh, just play slightly better into the late game. But that's an experience thing.
All right. Stitches.
Falstad Zagara, after these bans, are going to be the highly contested heroes. Perhaps even Brightwing. Not necessarily early, but... Ooh, Team Nom going for the early... I got to disagree with that. It felt like Jaina wasn't super duper impactful in the last game. Not to the point where you want to... She's a very good hero.
She's better in this patch, but over Falstad, Thrall, or Zagara, I think all 3 of them have a stronger presence on this map.
There's Falstad. Who else could they be going for? They take out Stitches, so very likely to be a Murden composition. What did we see out of them yesterday? Oh, it was Murd and Leoric.
Yeah, Murd and Leoric. Just in the front line. They played a lot of Murden in general. Not always B-Kid playing him, though.
No, we had that Psalm was playing B-Kid last game. Sergeant Psalm.
Sergeant Psalm.
Hovering over the Zagara, yeah, I think that's...
What did you think of Buccaneer B-Kids playing that last game?
On Stitches. It's kind of hard to... This will sound mean, but it's kind of hard to mess up the damage build. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he had some good biles, but it wasn't like there was any hooks that were super duper crazy. There's the Brightwing I was talking about. I didn't expect to see it this early in the draft.
It's
a couple things. Brightwing has Peekaboo, so if you're going to take Zeratul, and I even saw somebody mention in the chat that Zeratul is actually one of their stronger heroes for Team Nom. So
Deadly Ice.
Brightwing is not necessarily a counter. I wonder if they're going to ban out Tassadar. We'll see.
Well,
Panda Global.
I like this Brightwing pick a lot, though, but it's very unlikely it's a lone support.
Still Toronto available as well.
Yeah, should be fine. Carry's gonna be fine.
Abathur.
That could work. No, Shadow Assault Zeratul is not necessarily...
There's the ban on Tassadar.
Okay.
I just said that just for the Oracle. Tassadar's just a strong hero regardless, but also potentially takes away the possibility of Tassar Tyrande being run together. Not that we really saw Panda Global doing that composition a lot yesterday and the day before, but you never know. So I fully expect to see probably Muradin. I don't see why they wouldn't go for it. It's one of B-Kit's favorite heroes. This is actually also one of the few drafts where they haven't drafted a warrior very early for Panda Global's side.
True. Yeah, good point. Well, Uther, still an option for Panda if they want to go that route, but Tyrande, very good too for their support. There's a lot of options for supports. In terms of warriors, with Stitch is being removed, everyone else is still there. We know that they do like to put either B-Kit or Psalm on Muradin. So there he is. Do they go with Muraleo? Diablo.
Diablo. And then they can wait. Or okay, yeah, we haven't seen much ETC out of them. Oh, they can go ETC Uther. Oh, I actually really like ETC instead.
I'm all for the Thrall, man.
Thrall's fine too.
I love watching.
ETC Uther.
Sundering is just such a fun heroic. Fundering.
Diablo, I'm not as much of a fan of. No, don't take Uther.
The reason I like Uther is
they're going to take ETC though.
I think there's so many good picks for that last slot, and I think Uther is the best support option based on what they have. Diablo.
Oh, they're not going to take ETC. What?
Huh. This is like a year ago.
This is
Vala, Brightwing,
Zeratul, and they don't want to run the combo. Perhaps it is losing favor with
Which
the
combo?
pro teams. ETC Uther.
Oh, I see.
Just the invincible mosh pit. They don't really have a whole lot of bursts to deal. Like if they catch a bunch of people in it,
I think they need the damage from Thrall.
That may be part of the argument.
ETC is so weak compared to Diablo and Thrall.
It's not even that. It's more that they have Zagara and Falstad. It's just like decent single target damage, but if you catch a bunch of people, you want like the Jaina to be following that up. In which case, I think if Jaina was swapped with Zagara or Falstad, maybe they would go for it. So Thrall for the final pick. No KT for either game. Completely has 0% participation.
Blizzard decided to ban them from this video game. Kill Thas.
Ban them from. Well, once Li Ming gets put into tournaments, we're going to see Pyroblast. It's very obvious that is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Jake, please.
I mean, it's good in it blowing up low health heroes, but it's
the cool
100-second cooldown.
Cooldown's way too long. It's insane.
You know what I would like about if Pyro is going to have a 100-second cooldown, I would like it to be a skill shot like Spirit Bomb kind of ability. Travel twice as fast, does massive AoE damage in a huge way. Like that would be fun to watch.
So, like with a short startup, and launches. So it pretty much would be like a circular AoE.
Yeah. Like you could even just zone with it. You could just,
it would be a Hintoan's Blast, but
and maybe it gets bigger the further it travels, and it goes indefinitely. That might be too esports.
You're going.
That sounds fun to watch. I just want something fun to watch.
Clearly, when they put Goku in the game,
is too predictable. The whole like it's gonna catch him eventually, does he? It's not interesting to watch. It's not interesting to watch. I don't think it is. I think it's a boring heroic. Bam.
I mean, I think that the real problem with it is right now the startup is too high. If you're gonna have like a total just like this completely decimates a single like carry hero,
you need to go Kamehameha.
Well, it's just, if you're gonna have 100-second cooldown, they just need a really short startup too.
How many episodes does it take Goku to build that first Spirit Bomb? How many episodes did they milk on national television to build that? It was like 4.
There was like a point in time where it was like an episode and a half where he was charging up Kamehameha or powering up to throw the Kamehameha. I don't.
On Planet Namek, there was a whole episode of Goku just being constipated.
Dragon Ball Z was like the greatest fraud of our childhood.
Oh no, it's not fraudulent.
Have you seen the? Have you seen?
I am disgusted.
Don't try to throw me under the bus with this. Have you seen the like abridged version of it?
Yeah, DBZ Bridge is amazing, phenomenal. But it's also
That's not the one where they do the voiceovers, right?
Oh, that's the one of those voiceovers. Yeah.
Okay, no. I'm talking about where somebody actually went through and just clipped out
they
all
just-
the filler.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And it's like they cut out like 13 episodes or something like that worth of content. That's fraudulent. That's fraudulent.
You
Jake.
gotta.
Don't even start. You don't even
know
know the.
You got deadlines, and you gotta get that show out there for TV. Fillers are gonna be a thing, man.
There's a thing where it's like other shows have filler arcs, and it's kind of like, okay, everyone expects it. But it's like DV's, yeah.
I think it's the same idea. They're like, we're just not gonna animate this episode. It's just gonna be
one still with voiceovers. All right. This is it. On the ropes. Team Nom.
Can they bring it back? Oh, let's fix this. I did a whole game with my settings like this. I can't do another one. It just wouldn't happen.
It destroys me every time.
All right, Kubis, let us introduce our teams.
We shall. Over on the left side, Panda Global on qualification point to go to Los Angeles. Akaface is going to be on Uther. Michael Udall playing Falstead. B-Kid will be on Murden as tried and true. Psalm will be playing Thrall. And Big Impact rounding out the team. Disconnecting for everybody on the Zagara. Look, they bought you time. They knew you were trying to do production stuff, Jake. They're very kind.
Why is it not flipping? It's, oh. That's why. I forgot they changed the layout on this thing. There we go. DDoS Spirits.
Hello? They can't see you. Looks like he's back. Take it away, Jake.
3, 2, 1 on the right side of this team. None currently down 0-1. I just love counting. Dan going to be playing as Brightwing. Deadly Ice on his legendary Zeratul. Wrath going to be there on Vala. Kashi playing as Jaina. And Zug Rug on Jojo Han.
Zug.
Zobu.
Job's done.
Work complete. I got to work in my orc voice.
Work complete.
Fancy little wave clear troop over here. Mid lane. So we've got Falstad. Again, the mobility, super nice. Thrall, Zagara, they've got like dominant lane presence. Probably some of the motivation for taking Johanna and Vala towards the end of this draft. Vala helps. I mean, Jaina helps, but they needed to pick up a little bit more. I think that was big.
Yeah.
Still, like, just teams completely neglecting Sylvanas in these drafts.
Rest in peace. Rip Anti-Queen. Wrist. Not rest.
Just rest, my queen.
Wrist and pace.
Rest in pace.
We did it. Okay. The first shrines of the game spawning in just a moment, but we see a ton of damage on Dan, and he will barely get out. Nice peel from Zugrug, and Michael Udall actually gets traded. Beautiful play here on the side of Team Nom with the superior start. Dan can just go back home.
Damn! Like
That was nice.
that was dicey, but they got away with it, giving them, if nothing else, positional advantage. We got Falstad back up, can fly back in. But having the leg up on the shrine or the temple to start.
Deadly Ice in the back, cleaving into Poly on Psalm, and that will be a kill. Blinking out, he is safe. Kashi has rotated. Dwarf Toss needs to be used from Beacon. They force him out of the top lane, and they will control the middle shrine. Experience starting to go in their favor.
And they haven't even taken any of the temple shots for the top temple for Panda Global.
maybe
Usually
like
what
one.
you'd expect if you're, contesting mid and at least losing, maybe you have somebody top. Not even the case here. And this could spell another early deficit, at least objective-wise. And losing early structures, much more important on this map than it was in the previous.
Okay, once again, Michael Udall, the little wing things, dueling it out here in the mid. This is a hard thing for Dan to take, but he just hangs out and makes sure to get the rest of the caps. But Jaina picked up here in the top. Off she goes down into the Cloud Realm.
Okay.
She'll be consumed by some spiders.
Allows them to at least even up a little bit on these temples. The next thing we kind of point towards is what is going to be the mercenary camp rotation. We'll have the next set of temples popping up around the 5-minute mark. And this is where Zagara really starts to shine in these compositions. Dominant lane presence, and you really aim to try to take out a few of those towers before the next set of temples spawns, especially if you can take out the well. Very impactful.
Okay. Well, we actually see Panda Global taking the lead in experience now after
Yeah, they're pretty good at that.
catching that rotation. They don't really miss any experience at all. Structurally, I don't think they've taken out really all that much. I mean, we see they did the damage up here in top, but they only got the 2 towers worth of XP.
Yeah, probably mirrored pressure-wise in mid for Team Nom. Yeah, took out the well.
Yeah, 1 tower,
tower.
ahead.
Yep. Level 7 up. Anything interesting? We got the Pierce and full auto attack build for Falstad. That's what we've been seeing a lot of lately. Doesn't seem as though the boomerang change has convinced enough players.
I'm
Swap
interested to
over.
see if we do end up seeing AP Falstad, but
We should check that a little more often, I suppose, because they haven't changed the colors yet for
that's true.
Falstads. But it's got to be secret weapon powered.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, no boomerangs. I think
And
we'd see it.
the heal, activatable heal on the trait, Cross Wolf Resilience.
Yeah, stylistic.
Yeah, it's usually that or follow through. Cooldown reduction on Wind Fury, one of those 3. Double steering attack.
That's become more and more popular over First Aid, level 7. Even without Shadow Assault, like the first time I saw it, I got really excited. I was like, oh, Shadow Assault build. But definitely does not mean we're going to see Shadow Assault. It's possible, but it's unlikely.
I don't see it happening.
I think they need VP. They need to control this fight. That's all they have.
Yeah. Not only that, it's going to be a little too risky. I think. You don't have like D-Shield or
Got
Divine Palm or
Holly
anything
and
like
Pixie
that.
Dust to buy you some room, but that's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not the
there's
same
not enough
fight.
control. So we got that next set of temples popping up soon. There's that 5-minute mark. And they've done enough damage if they manage to. Oh, that's big. Michael the Beast.
What a god.
And he can fly down, hearth and fly, whatever he wants to
That is
do.
actually massive. Like this, the
Yeah, he can
timing
stay
on
up
the
here and
kill.
soak, and then they're going to get really close to 10. That's
Yeah.
also a big deal.
That's so.
Things have
big.
turned around.
Oh, but things
Oh,
managed
no,
to trade
no,
hammer
no.
adjusted blink heal on Zugrug.
Zug.
Or just the phase shift, excuse me, not blink heal.
If they just run away with the game again, you remember what happened in their previous set? They were in a position just like this, very
again.
close, hit level 10, turned the fight around, took out 4 heroes, took the boss, and actually just about ended the game off that push. They know what they're doing in these spots. They can't give up this position. Zugrug,
Zugrug says Psalm actually just powers through Zugrug with Thrall. Huge plays. Level 10 picked up Sundering. We do have Divine Shield with Gust, Maw, and Avatar. Pretty much all the standard pickups, and they just immediately have to concede their position.
Knowing their place, they do back up and concede this bottom temple. They'd much rather give up just the fort rather than the game. Catch up to that level 10. Smart, showing that experience, the right shot calling.
Okay, well, we do see that this bottom shrine will finish off, but level 10 has been picked up here on the side of Team Nom. Blessed Shield with Strife, Void Prison.
It is VP, are you sad?
No, it's the right call. I want good games. As much as I love Shadow Assault, I want really, really close games, and that is going to yield the best results, in my opinion. Water, Ellie, and Blink Heal.
I find the water elemental to be a bit strange. It's not super strange, but especially if you have setups like Blessed Shield and VP, you can land Ring of Frosts, and then you're setting up for strafes as well. It can work as water elemental is definitely good as an anti-flank tool. So if we're seeing that Michael Udall is getting a lot of value out of flanks, it will turn out to be the right call. So we can just kind of cast it on and set it, forget it. Ron Field knows how to deal with flanks.
Zeratul, Johanna, just controlling this area. In case anybody steps out of bounds, they will quickly dive on them. Wrath also up here. So they could wait up for the rotation, but considering this shrine or this watchtower is being controlled,
Yeah.
good disengage, good backup. Like Udall just constantly poking around. being very cautious. They're wary. They don't know where that Zeratul is.
So they're going to take the Merc Camp, take those Giants. Next set of shrines should be popping up soon. So it's a good timing. As long as they can defend them, keep them alive. Oh, are they going to try to get aggressive for this? Ooh, this is cheeky. B-Kid's going to scout this out.
Well, yeah, I mean, the
I don't know
creep
about
spread
this.
has already revealed them 10 minutes ago. I mean, they're well aware that they've been seen. B-Kid poking on in. Oh, Michael Udall with a huge gust. VP and Maul both being used. A good use of VP, but is it enough? Sundering. Psalm gets there in time. He's getting the combo up, but no, he's stunned last minute there, and they're trying to get down onto.
Oh, Michael Udall with the body blocks.
What a ridiculous player. That is absolutely beautiful. Zugrug can go nowhere. B-Kid takes over his dutiful body blocking, and Johanna goes down. I couldn't keep talking. I just had to watch. I was just.
We all were just watching Jake.
Beautiful.
It's absolutely okay. They're going for boss. I like this call. Another 4 seconds before Janet's back up. They've got the DPS to deal with this, and it's going to pair up so well, giving them control to take this bottom shrine at the very least. And at this point in time, they are in position to simply trade out temples because they're ahead in structures.
Gust is ready. This
don't
is
like this
100%
challenge.
safe. There it is.
Okay.
Just like, what are you?
They could have been punished for it. Like this, you're never going to get that.
Yeah.
If anything, just send the rest of your team top, or send some of the members up top to start capturing the temple. It's a fruitless effort to try to take that boss.
Oh man, Bruiser Camp has been left alone. They've pretty much taken out this top
Kachi
four.
should have been up here 15 seconds ago.
I love this call by PG as well. They have the boss at bottom. They're actually, instead of going to the temples, they're going to chunk through the fort first. We might have a pause. Big Impact goes down. Yes, there is a pause in this game.
What levels are we sitting at? Can we see? Is that possible to see? Tab, perhaps?
With the pause marker, we
Yeah,
can't.
that's
Well, we know they're
Okay,
I think they're around
we should
14.
take a note of that.
I think it's 13 to 12 right now. With Panda Global up a level.
Okay.
We know we have level 13 talents. We can do
there's a
that
couple
much.
things that can justify doing what they're doing right now, which is structurally pushing with the boss out. There's a lot of things that you can do with the boss. You can secure yourself both temples. You can try to take structures elsewhere, other mercenary camps. There's a lot of things that you can do. So it's justifying what you do with it is basically once the boss dies, what position are you in? And it's 14 to 12 right now, and they're hoping with this boss they take out the mid fort that they may be able to capitalize on both sets of temples. But if we see Michael Udall have to back up, an interesting barrel roll.
Yeah, I'm just laughing at he got clipped and it just looked really funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just a really weird angle. Okay, Zugrug with the phase shift. Nice peekaboo revealing the entire area here, but the disengage is there from Panda Global. Uther still sitting on that top
No need for them
shrine.
to fight, and there's no way for them to really engage. I guess a VP could have been a decent idea. I would have been okay with them doing it. I mean, the fact that they get them to push them back gives them this position for bottom, but again, they can't be satisfied with trades. They're even up on talent tiers. Like, this is actually a good time for them to fight. The more I think about it, I think it would have been a good idea for them to VP and force a fight with Uther so far away.
At level 13, we do see it is going to be Burning Rage. Wormhole, this is when Zeratul can start to get a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah,
We've got the
Burning
double
Rage
ice
to deal
block
with
that's up
creep.
here.
Helps a lot. You don't have to spend your abilities to try to clean up creep wherever it's being annoying.
16 just about here. Zugrug in aggressive position, might try to look for a flank, but the creep is there. Actually, the moment he starts starting to trickle out, he looks like he's backing away. The phase shift in. Are they looking for the fight? Condemn on BKB. He just worked off, so he has to Avatar to stay alive. And the water Ellie goes down as well. Heroic for Heroic, just 1 for 1. Blizzard doing so much damage, and a big VP in the back on 3 members. B-Kid barely getting out with his life. I don't believe it. Gets level 16 and pops that stone skin, and they burn down Johanna. Somehow Panda Global is getting away in the closest scenarios, and they get a 3 for nothing, Kubi.
Oh, Jake, hold yourself. Hold on. Psalm with the root. He's got it. Slow. Guarantees it. Okay, lot of things to talk about there. So,
Yeah.
the positioning for Thrall, sitting above the boss pit, he was looking to try to move in and get an aggressive flank with Sundering to start the fight. Zeratul, great heads up. to completely zone him out. Like, you can see the position for it. If you go back and watch the fight, he's just sitting there zoning with the position up top. Really, really smart. That ends up also giving him the position to flank himself, go in and get the VP. The VP was great, and it actually caused most of the Sundering to whiff. I think they just spent little too many resources trying to kill B-Kid and not being successful doing so. His trait plus heals from Uther is going to get him back into the fight very quickly, and basically it was just an overextension from that point forward.
Yeah, he actually hit 16 like the moment
16
he got
16 was
out.
a big deal.
Like so that was.
If you have a bunch of heroes that are locked up in a VP while you hit 16, well, it gives you plenty of time to select your talents to get that advantage. So, yeah, couple of unfortunate timings and slight factors that went into that, but I did really like the Zeratul positioning.
Okay, well, we do see the Bruiser Camp is picked up here, and double Merc Camp, double Shrine.
Boss should be up, so no, it's a minute, second. Okay.
Yeah, minute and 7. 16 talent still not here, which is why we see Team Nam really just trying to soak efficiently, but they're having to pass up the control of 2 temples for a little while. They
and with the
just got
Giants
16.
bottom. Okay, it's good that they've got Brightwing down there to clean that up. She can phase shift in when it is necessary. Oh, deadly. Gotta be careful, sir.
Creator Poly. Jaina's still thinking about the level 16 talent. Does she go for Northern Exposure? Does she go for Numbing Blast?
Well, they're just waiting for Welly to be down, and then they may move in to try to contest this.
Keep down this game. Middle keep taking a lot of damage as well. Ammunition is low. Shouldn't be able to get it, but it will actually be rather close. Zugrug trying to stall it out even. Does go for Northern Exposure. Oh, they back off? Because Thrall took mid, and Brightwing actually got picked off. I think it was probably Michael Udall. Yes, Michael Udall trading out Brightwing here alone in the bottom. A second keep has gone down with no healer here. We see Ravkin end up going down, and this could be it.
Go
Panda
fight,
Global
run.
with a huge fight. Just Deadly Ice alive.
Yeah, that's GG.
Michael Udall played like a beast in this match, Kubi.
Yeah, he had some really nice trades in the early game, taking out Jaina on top, and then some great gusts. Good body blocks, just good play all around. Yeah, he stole the show from B-Kid. Stole it away yesterday. I think B-Kid was probably their MVP maybe today. Michael Udall.
He has some nice hair.
He does.
Well played. Panda Global advances and qualifies for the Heroes of the Storm Americas Championship in Los Angeles, happening just a few weeks from now.
Well done. Well deserved. Absolutely well deserved.
They're so good on that map. They are so good on Sky Temple.
The shot calling is very strong. Only a couple slight changes that they could have made to that, but overall they're maximizing potential out of so many situations. Really cool to see.
I would never want to play against them on Sky Temple.
You could have just ended it. Right. I'd never want to play against them. You can end your statement there. That's fine.
You're right. You're right, Kubi. Wow. So that's that. Yeah, very quick. I mean, game 1 was 27 minute game, but game 2, not even 15 minutes. Much more convincing on the side of them.
Yep.
But well played by Team Nam, making this far.
Only 2 deaths.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very, very well played. Using that mobility, Falstad, the gusts. I love gusts. I'm so happy that is the heroic of choice now.
I remember when it first came out, everyone was like, "Man, what a bad heroic.
Doesn't do any damage.
Yeah.
This thing's garbage.
Why would you get that?
Yeah, you pick Falstad to do lots of damage. YOLO, 4 scope, no 20. Hello?
Yeah.
MLG, man. That's why you take Falstad. Sniper.
The MLGG dream.
Yeah, but no, it's about the positioning and the plays. Michael Udall knows. He knows.
He knows. He knows.
Well, we'll see if he can continue to make such plays in Los Angeles. For the qualifier, we're going to have 2 teams advancing from North America to go to Korea.
But
every
video
game player's dream.
This is only our 5th team decided, unless, of course, Gilly's stream is also ended.
This is true.
There will be 2 more teams that qualify this weekend. Based on the 3 qualifiers.
Based on the fact that we just got hosted, I will assume their set is also done.
All right. So we have a result from Gillyweed's stream. Just got that host from there. So this means we will actually be able to figure out Blaze advanced to 0.
That is the expected.
The admins yelling at me for the
The
comment. I made
disrespect.
earlier. I love you so, Fist. Blaze advances 2-0, and Panda Global advances
That's
2-0,
2-0.
joining Cognitive, Tempo Storm,
Yep.
Bob Ross Fan Club, and Cloud9. But the 8 teams, in terms of their results, or from the past 3 qualifiers, will be playing this weekend in a bracket on Sunday for those last 2 spots.
Some of those teams will have Resurgence, both Kings of Blade teams, Team Nom.
It's hard to say because there's 3 events, so you have to add the numbers up. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. Well, there's a lot that were just that qualified, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
OVO.
Elevate might be up there. I'm not sure.
Elevate. I think it's not a team. Yeah, that might be. That's a good chunk of the teams. So that's what you guys can expect to see on Sunday. They'll have a bracket out fairly shortly, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they can figure it out.
They don't have to worry about teams, checking in, brackets being decided, so they can figure that out. All the seeding, I'm sure, will be done based on point count. I hope.
So, abandon your lover on Valentine's Day and join us for a phenomenal
Jake and
day
I will show you.
of Heroes of the Storm.
Hello? I got a good reaction. That was pretty good.
Heavy breathing.
Well played, sir. All right.
Yeah.
I think that wraps it up for us.
Could be working all these.
You guys can find me on Twitter at the Kubi, YouTube, also the Kubi with zeros. Like I said, Saturday, I'm looking to be probably working on a Heroes Fight Club episode. I'll be wrapping up one of these fights. Actually, I think there's a couple good ones from that game itself. Especially over that boss pit at the end. That could be a cool one to go over. I may dissect that one. It's a fun one. I think that's it for me, though. We'll be back Sunday.
We will be back Sunday to figure out the final 2 teams that will be joining us at the America's Championship. Follow me, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everything Solid Jake GG. I very much appreciate my YouTube. I've been putting out a boatload of content, aiming for a minimum of 7 videos a week, a video a day. It's pretty healthy.
Don't stop at a boatload. Arc load.
Arc load. We're nowhere status, boys. And all kinds of educational content, tournaments, podcasts, all focused around Heroes. There is some Overwatch stuff that will start trickling in there as well. But thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And we'll see you next time. GG's.
Work complete.
Or complete, Kubi.